So sometimes like, yeah, like, networking is a great thing to do, right? Like overall, right? But sometimes you don't click with people. Like for example, like I feel like I didn't do this with my first mentor that they like assigned me to, So like I feel like we weren't able to connect as much, compared to like my adopted mentor that was David, that was Killian's and Thea's
David Start
no, now.
or oh David Now, yeah.
Yes.
I for a second when you said now, I thought you meant like
No,
the David
David
Now. I'm
now.
like, but which David? No, I know you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so like with him, I connected like really well, right? Like, I feel like I reached out to him a lot. He would reach out to me a lot, So like, I don't know, like it's important to bring those personal connections, Like, I know, like for example, with Sangeeta, like I'll talk to her about like her life, she will ask me about my life. She will ask me how everything is going. Like those little things do matter, because we are in a work environment, but we are also humans, and like, um, I feel like after that, like first presentation and talking, like how she was talking about how she approached everything, like it wasn't only that, like there was a lot of things that, she made me think about like, okay, like maybe I should bring my authentic Ramu into like, play, So,
yeah.
um, so yeah, I feel like I continue to do that. And let's say that if in the future, hopefully I don't get a manager or a team that, don't like that authenticity of Ramu, then, like we might not be able to work together. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be a little more uncomfortable for me, but like again, with this team, like I feel like I'm very like comfortable to be able to talk about, like something personal, if anything, or like ask them how they're doing, or I don't know. Like I feel like I can show that I care, because that's something important to me as a person.
Yeah. And like there are two topics that you touched on there that I want to go into. The first one is I had like the same exact experience with my mentor, where the first person I was assigned, and this is there was something from this that I really noticed. And my girlfriend's a manager, so it's something that I've mentioned with her, and it was just like such a little thread I picked up on. So my first mentor, like really nice person, and I would say the conversations went well, but for me, mentorship has always been something I've taken like very seriously throughout my whole life. Like I can point to very specific people in high school, college, etc., who have had an impact on me, and like because of it, I've always had like a very focused perspective and like way I like treat mentorship. So there's like something about that where I'm like, this person's great, but like I don't know, I didn't feel the kind of
Connection or
connection or frequency that I wanted. And Sangeeta was like asking, she was like checking in, she's like, hey, like how are things with your mentor? And I was like talking about it. And she's like, would you like to like get a new one? And like I paused for a second and I don't remember her exact words, but she said something reassuring to whole like, hey, like it's not I
it's
feel like
okay.
there's in this culture, there's like such a idea of I think it's like we put ourselves out there so much and everything is like there's so many interactions we have to keep track of and there's a lot of like in and out people of your life. Like we're afraid of like rejection. And because of that, we're also afraid of rejecting other people because it goes as like this insecurity of like, we don't like being rejected because we go, what's wrong with me? And we also go, I don't like rejecting other people because you're like, I don't want them to think I think something's wrong with them. So that was the kind of like fear in my mind. Like thinking is like, hey, like it's chill if you and your mentor like aren't as close as possible. Like this is supposed to be like a long-term resource for you. So like it's not a testament to them. So I'm like, okay, like cool. And I'm like, yeah, like I do think that it might be good to like see what other options are there. And the mentor that I got matched with after Ronald Mayfield, he's like this super impressive, like distinguished master principal, one of like the highest enterprise architects at Oracle. Enterprise architect is like a solutions engineer, except for rather focusing on one technology, you get brought in to do these like huge overarching plans and roadmaps of for companies of like how not just one tech, but like a suite of our technologies can all work together and transform your entire business process and like save you so much money and costs and stuff. Like that's what he does. And like Ron's still someone who I meet with now, like monthly. One of the most like impactful resources, like exactly what I need. And I've had like such a good relationship with him. But like if I hadn't if I hadn't gone over my kind of like fear of, oh, what would this say socially or just potentially like job politically about switching? I'm just like, what do I think is best for me? It's
Mhm.
led to something just like really helpful. So I do, that's something where like, especially in early career, like a good skill to learn is you're going to meet like a lot of people and don't take it personally if you don't jive with everyone you meet and don't like beat yourself up or like get weird over apology if you don't like mix perfectly well with like other people and say like things don't end up being the most like tight relationship ever just because like it's kind of just average good people rules. Just be respectful, treat people well, and kind of be graceful in those like entrances and exits, and you don't have to feel bad about say like stuff not working out. But like the second thing I wanted to get to, because this was like